welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed. And today we are going to have a look at 3 different games again, which will be Zombie Mission, Caterpillars, Micro Adventures, and Warfare Chest 2. My name is Jared, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me, which are of course the Arc mouse, which is this one. And of course we are going to use the Foldable keyboard, you all know about that already. And in theory there would be one game we could play with the Xbox One as wireless controller, which is Caterpillar's Micro Adventures. But for some reason I like to play it with the keyboard more, but you can use this if you want. So do whatever you want to do there, but I find it more intuitive to use the keyboard for that, so I'm going to play it with the keyboard. And of course the whole thing here is going to be created more or less by this smartphone, which is the Lumia 950 XL, which is a Windows 10 mobile smartphone with a USB-C connector at the bottom here, and of course we have this USB-C cable which we are going to connect to this display dock here at the side, which is more or less just an USB-C dongle. And that one is of course connected to the TV, and like that we can create this kind of desktop-like experience you can see here. And if you want to know more about all of this, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of different other videos where I'm going to show you what this is all about in more detail. And other than that, I would say let's start with the first game. The first game is Zombie Mission. Zombie Mission is a small little game which can be played by 2 persons at the same time, or just by 1 person playing 2 players after each other. We will see what's going on there. So first off, I have to go to my all apps list and of course search for it. It's called Zombie Mission, there we are. One thing up front, it's a little bit on the heavy side with the ads, let's say it like that. In the end, it's a nice little game, but you really have to cope with a couple of different bummers and stuff like that are going to be in there. It's not that bad, you can play it, and if the game is once running and nicely set up and stuff like that, everything seems to be pretty fine. And then it really is fun to play this game. So just cope with a couple of banners at the start, click them away or do whatever you want there, and then you should be fine. Okay, so first off, as you can see here are a couple of them. Not really bad or very annoying or something at the start at least. But something like that isn't really what I would like to see here, but whatever. Be aware that if you are clicking on this and you have the mouse pointer, which is more or less looking like this this hand, so the pointer really, not the mouse indicator here, or the arrow, then you are going to activate it. So this is a little tricky and really not the right way to do it if you ask me, whatever. But if you are having this kind of arrow, then you're really getting away of it, and that's fine. Same can be done with them, for instance. Some of them are going to be reloaded from time to time, and sometimes that's really a little bit in the way, but whatever. We will have a look at this. As you can see, the first image you saw in this game is a little bit misleading. It's going to be this kind of optics, so it's a little bit more comic-like, and it's really a nice thing. Because what you're going to do is you're going to solve puzzles more or less with your 2 players you're going to play with. You have a little girl and a little boy, or maybe they're not that little, but at least in the game they're looking a little bit little. And then you are just going to click on play, of course, and let's have a look at that. Again, sometimes you get this. Again, be careful. Try to find a point where you can really click on it and you're not forced to do anything else there. And after that you can see you have a couple of different missions before you, with even a big hero or a big enemy at the last stage, a boss fight. But let's start with the first or the second game. Let's start the first again. As you can see, there's this little icon which is showing you that how many of the levels you already played. So this is one that already has been finished. But we will play this first, just to show you what's going on here. And here we are. This is more or less the play field, as you can see. And what you are going to do here is you are trying to save this, frightened civilians or whatever you want to call them. In the end, those are the two players you're going to play. And important for the game, if you play it, for instance, with a keyboard like I'm doing, you are going to use WASD to control one of the players and the arrow keys to control the other one. Okay. In addition, you will find a couple of hints on the screen what you can play with or what you can click on and stuff like that in this game. So just try it out. It's pretty straightforward in the end. Okay, and of course you can get rid of the part here, so you get a little bit of a bigger screen space. And yeah, now you can see that I'm using WASD at the moment, so the girl is WASD. If you are coming through one of those signs there, you are going to get those informations for you too. And second one will help you to tell you that, for instance, F is to clear the path. Interesting. And other than that, just run around. Sometimes reloading is occurring, so you're getting a little bit of a whatever you want to call it. It's not really that bad, but I don't like it neither. So press F, as you have seen there, to shoot on the enemy. Be aware that you only have a couple of different shots, so be very, very careful with that. We got the zombie killed here. And now you can run around and do different things. For instance, climb up the parts here. And what you really want to do is you want to collect all those different save icons. And you are going to have a couple of different power-ups. So if, for instance, a zombie has hit you, you can use those to be healed again. So a monster or a zombie doesn't matter really much here. And there was a little indicator for something new. We are going to have a look later on. And here you see the bug that is going to be there if the stuff is reloaded. So you really have to be a little bit careful about it. Other than that, just run around, help them, they will disappear then, and then you have more or less saved them. And then the goal is to have both of your players going to this direction. You see this little sign, this is just indicating, hey, she's already on the other side. So second one, take your player and try to go over there. And now you are at the second state, because both of your players are now in this region. You can run back, but then you will need to go back with both players and come back with both players, so just don't try that. And as you can see, we are still in the first level, so this is more or less screen by screen play, or whatever you want to call that. Now I just helped her out, and here's another info box. Let's see, hide UV panel is M, interesting. Not sure why I'm doing that. Okay, if it's in your way, you can press M. Okay, whatever. Not sure why I should do that at the moment, but if I want to, I can. And now I'm just collecting all this stuff. And zombies are inactive for a while if you are not going to come close to them. And now I'm not sure, which one was it? You? No. Okay. It's the L to fire. You see you have only a certain amount of range here, so be aware of that. And if you play, for instance, with the other character, then go around. And as you can see, we are trying to go to this portal here. And if we got that with both players, of course, then we have finished this map here. So I'm going to go there. And we are in and have solved the first level. Yeah, now there are all those little cute little graphics and stuff like that in there, so it's a little bit, yeah, something that will help you to overcome the annoyance of some of the advertisements you're going to see here. But in the end, if you click away the ads or something, then everything is fine, and it's a nice little game. It's going to be pretty hard to solve. It's more like a puzzle game than something to shoot at or something. So after a while, it's going to be a little bit harder to solve, to do everything fine, and like the way there are going to be buttons which have to be pressed so another player can run through and the other one can follow him and stuff like that. It's a nice little game. Just try it out, and if you can oversee the ads, it's really fun to play. Yeah, then I would say let's go out here and have a look at the second game in our mashup today, and that will be Caterpillar's Micro Adventures. This game is really pretty nicely done. I really like the flow of it, I really like how it's played and stuff like that, but the graphics are a little bit on the low side, or whatever you wanted to call that. But in the end, it's really a nice game. I really like the playing style and the feeling it has. So let's have a look at that and see yourself if you like it or not. There is a demo version of this game available, and there is the full version. The full version is going to cost you $2.49 or something. And the demo version is going to be free, of course, at the start. You can play it for, I think, until you collected 20 leaves. We are going to have a look at what that is all about later on. But first off, let's start that game and have a look at it. I will turn around because this is a game you should really watch, and you are not going to have to puzzle or something. So looking at the screen, you should look at the screen all the time. So give me a sec, and we are going to activate it, of course. Go to the All Apps list again. There we are. We have those two. This is the one I'm going to link you, and if you want to buy it, then you are going to have another link that is going to go out after a while, because if the demo version is over, I think it's when you have 20 leaves collected or something, which takes a while, so do not be too disappointed about that. But after that you can buy it, and I wanted to buy it because it's really a nice little game, and I just wanted to give that to the developer. Okay, so as mentioned before, it's a little bit funny too. Really like that. As mentioned before, if you want to play it with the Xbox One as well as controller, you can do that. Just activate it. It should be realized that you are playing with it in a couple of seconds. Other than that, you can of course go in and just play it with your mouse. Not really with a mouse. Mouse is only for menus or something, but with a keyboard in most cases. Or of course touch. I think touch is fine too. So tutorial and so on. Just have a look at the settings here. As you can see, there's not too much to do here. We can, for instance, change the ambient and the sound. So sounds and music, of course. There's not really a music or something, but the ambient sound around it. And then the action sounds are more or less these. And there are different save games and stuff like that. So you could erase, for instance, a save file if you want to. But first, let's have a look at the tutorial together, and then I'm going to show you what's going on. You can see the graphics are on the low side, as I mentioned before. It's 2D, and it's pretty simple drawn, but it's really a fine little, how to call it? It's not really a jump and run. Of course it is one in some way, but in the end you are going to have to solve puzzles and fight against stuff. Here you can see we have different kind of things to do. So for instance, if you want to pick something up, you can hit the set button on your, or C button on your keyboard. In the end, the same is done with the spacebar. I'm going to use the spacebar for that then. You can zoom the view. It depends on what you are really going to prefer here. I like a middle kind of zoom, so I'm going to press that. Jump is up, down, and so on. That's pretty straightforward. You can use WASD too if you want to, and of course escape to pause the game. And that's more or less what this is all about. Then just run around as you can see, you are this little guy there, so the caterpillar, of course, that's a caterpillar, and that guy has a couple of different really cool abilities, more or less. So for instance, if you jump 2 times, then you can see you get this yeah, more or less this rope you can shoot up and run around and climb on. And let's go in a little bit. As you can see, those are the zoom steps you have. I'm going to use maybe the middle one or the outer zoomed ones. That depends a little on what you are going to do here. As you can see, for instance, you can ride on that bug, but there are not only friendly bugs, most bugs are bad for you. But, for instance, this daisy, is it called daisy? No, I'm not sure what the English word is at the moment. But that guy is going to carry you around. And as you can see, you can climb up on, for instance, those flowers here. Flowers are not going to be available everywhere and stuff like that. So let's see what's going on here besides that. As you can see, here are those broken or slightly broken rocks or whatever you want to call that. Those are going to go away. And of course there is a bug that is going to be dangerous. For instance, bee is dangerous, and of course those little guys. I'm going to show you which one I'm talking about here. That one is dangerous too, so don't try to get on it. I'm not sure if it's an ant or something, or some kind of another bug. In Germany I would know the name of it, but here I don't. And you can run around. For some reason it's not that bad for a caterpillar or pillar to fall down into the water, so you can go on there, but be aware there is this little other water bug in here, so don't hit that. As you can see, we can, for instance, drive or run around on this leaf, and there are going to be many different things you're going to ride on. I'm not sure what this is, really not sure what this is. It's not going to hurt you or something, it's some kind of fly or I don't know. As you can see, you're going to drown now. That's pretty slow, so you can of course press in the direction to go further or faster. And if you are underwater, you can see there's this little blue bar which is telling you how long you can be underwater. That one is a bad bug too, and as you can see, if you are hitting one of the bad bugs, you're just going to be at the checkpoint. There's always this checkpoint icon there, which is going to show you what's going on. The good thing is that kind of bug, for instance, is just jumping all the time, all the same. So that is nothing to be worried about. Be careful of the thorns here. So there are some kind of thorns on those ropes that you see there. That's a little bit hard to see sometimes, but you can of course jump over them. And here, for instance, is a different thing to be aware of. For instance, this kind of, I'm not even sure what the name in English is. Pollen, it's in German. I'm not sure. This kind of stuff that is flying in the air around. I'm not sure what that's called in English. Is going to be a little bit of a different story than, for instance, the bug we already saw, because on those you can't jump. They are that light that if you would jump, they would drop down or something. And because of that, you really can't jump on them, but you can only drive or fly around with them on those parts. And so you really have to have the right timing to go off of them and stuff like that. It's really a nice little touch to the game. Now let's see what's going on here. You can pick up some objects. So yeah, we can do that. And he's talking about this rock which is there. And the rock is, for some reason or the other, blocking the flower to grow, because this is a flower more or less. And if you take that, bring it away and drop it somewhere else, I can use, for instance, the spacebar for that, then the flower is going to grow and we can, for instance, climb it or do whatever we want with it. And there are a couple of friendly bugs too in here, because you are all after those leaves, as you can see there. You can see there's a counter up there, so to get one of the levels fixed or whatever, you have to collect all the different leaves there, because you want to eat them, of course. And yeah, you can, for instance, exchange those leaves with other bugs. Like this one is, of course, we are in the tutorial, so this is really easy. This one is going to need those, I don't know what this is, poo or something. In the end, this dirt balls or poo or whatever he wants there, and he's giving you one of the leaves for that. And we can, of course, collect them by just jumping over them, and as you can see, we are going to get all the stuff, and if we collected all of them, you can see that it's at the bottom there, collect food to finish the game, we got that, and we are through that. And now we would go into the real adventure, and even in the demo version you can play in the real adventure, as I mentioned before, for 20 leaves, which are going to be a couple, so you are going to have different micro challenges and stuff like that in there. So let's have a look at that. I'm just going to click on save file 2. I think this first save file is already taken by me. So yeah, probably. So we have a new play here. So as you can see, here are the touch controls in there. If you want to use them, you don't have to, but you can. And if you don't want to use them, just ignore them at the start. And I think they are going to go away if he is recognizing that you are using a keyboard, as you can see. And there is our first leaf. We are going to collect that. And as you can see, this is a whole big world, more or less. Let's see. Yeah, there's no zoom factor that is going to go out far away or out than this one. But as you can see, we are going to have to do different things. Here is some kind of, I don't know, whatever that is, food or something that is meant to be carried to one of the bugs, which is going to be there. As you can see, there's always this little thought bubble, which is going to tell you what this bug wants from you and that he is not bad for you or an enemy of you. So just put all the stuff to him. As you can see, we can still use those double jumpers. So with double jumpers we can, for instance, climb up. It's not even in all the situations something you want to do. It really depends on what you're going to have here. And as you can see, you can jump around in any direction. There is no real order of things you have to do or something. Just go around and try to fulfill the small little micro challenges you're going to be faced with all the time on this map. Some are pretty easy, some are not that easy. You really have to go around and do stuff. 3 or 5 we already got. 1 is over there. That's a little bit unfortunate, but the cool thing is, as mentioned before, we can, for instance, use those ropes to go up. Here's another leaf we can take with us, and yeah, as you can see, there are different behaviors of the stuff here. So for instance, if you have those ropes you already put in there, then from a rope you can't really jump very nicely. You're just going to go in one direction. And for instance, if you want to stay on a rope, you always have to climb up. Otherwise you're going to fall down on the rope, and that's something in most situations you don't want. You're going to fall down here, you can't go over there, so just carry that with you. And as you can see, here are a lot of different poles. I'm going to call it poles. I'm sure it's not the right name for that, but whatever. And yeah, in the end, as you can see, you can fall down here a lot. You're not going to be in any kind of way harmed by those. I'm not sure why, actually, because in general those have thorns too, but whatever. If it's helping us, then why not? And you can of course duck too. So as you can see, there are a lot of different things you really can do here. You can drawn with it, whatever. So go down, there's this blue bar again. So everything that is in general in one of those jumping games is really in this one too. So it's pretty, a pretty fully featured game with all the different options you are going to see in other games like this too. And of course a couple of them more, because something like that is, for instance, something that only a Caterpillar can do. And therefore, for instance, is more or less an obstacle, because we can't go over that. We can only duck, but we cannot duck and jump at the same time. Here we are going to carry around different things again. What is the aim? The aim is more or less collect all the different leaves here in this game. It's not going to be easy in all situations, but in most of them you should find some kind of a way to go on in this game. For instance, if we want to go up again, which is something we are going to need to do. There's one of the bad guys, so be careful with him. Okay, that should be fine for us. Oh no, we want to carry that to the guy. And now we are going to jump on those thingies here and try to find a way up. And as mentioned before, you can't jump on them, so it's a little bit harder to navigate with those. Oh no. Oh, come on. Yeah. I would say I'm going to leave it like that for now. You already saw what this game is all about, I think. You already saw what the graphics are like, so they're pretty limited. But as you already may have noticed, I'm more or less a fan of this game. I can play it all day long. Maybe not all day long, but still it's a pretty nice little game here. Can't go up there at the moment. Then go let's there. Okay. So just try it out. There are all the time checkpoints and stuff like that, so if you are going to die or fall down somewhere, it's not really that important in general. And I would say just try it out. I really like this game for the flow of it, for the different features the bug has, and all the different little small ideas developers put into here. And in the end, this is more or less a game. Try it out. Hope you have fun with it, like I have. Okay, so let's go out and have a look at our last game. The last game is going to be Warfare Chess 2. It's a 3D game which is going to let you play chess, of course. And in the end, it's something for beginners and for more or less advanced players, because there's going to be different kind of modes in this game, and you can play against other players on the world, for instance. So first off, we are going to go to the all apps list, of course, in here. And now we are going to search for Warfare Chess, of course. There we are, Warfare Chess 2. If I click on it, you're going to activate the game looking like this. It's going to be a 3D game of chess, so pretty nicely done. You can even create your own army styles. If you, for instance, want to create a different kind of chess figures or something, you can do that. The game itself is, as mentioned before, something you can log into or not. You can play as a guest, for instance, or you can just create a login to get different points and stuff like that. And of course, on the online tournaments and stuff like that, a name is pretty good to have. In the end, if you, for instance, play as a guest, as I'm going to play here, this is a nice little touch. For some reason, the hand is up at the mouse pointer. So that's more or less because you are going to grab the chess figures later on and put them over again. But whatever. Just click on it. And I'm going to start with the guest play here. After a while we are going to see a different optic here with a couple of different nice little statements here. Nice to learn to read them. And as you can see, this is going to be more or less the chess field you're playing on. So it's really pretty nice. A small little 3D game in this case. You can put in different options here. For instance, if you click on that, you can activate or deactivate the reduced effects, for instance. Those are more or less those kind of stuff. If you just want to play with it, just reduce the effects. If not, just leave them in. It depends what you really want to do, and of course how much your device can take in this case. As you can see, we have a 3D card that can be shown at the top here, which is going to be very helpful. I will show you that later on. And there are different other options you can do here. For instance, you can put in a limit of how many minutes you are going to be playing, or how many different rounds, for instance, are going to be there and stuff like that. It really is a nice little thing. We are going to play the AIN difficulty level at the beginner level, for instance, because I'm not that good at chess. But you can of course go and make this more and more advanced for you if you are really good at it. You can change, of course, the language. Let's do that. Let's change that to English so you can read what's going on there. There we are. And yeah, now you can just go to game, new game, for instance. I'm going to play, click on that. And as you can see, there are different other modes now. You can, for instance, use the single mode, the online mode, or some kind of a closed battle against a friend or something. We are going to go with the single mode in this case, and I'm going to use easy. Bear with me, I'm just not good at chess, or not that good at chess. And as you can see, here are the standard guys, more or less a standard setup you're going to have here. If you want to play another one, you can of course do that. For instance, the Black Army is more or less, yeah, the evil guys from the underground or something. And you can create your own little things, like this one, for instance, where there are more of those kind of yeah, fantasy figures in here. And of course other stuff. But for that you might have to get experience points. So we are going with the Black or the White Army. Why not? Let's use this. I'm going to turn around, otherwise I'm not going to be good at this game at all. You are going to play this with the mouse in general or with your finger. Depends on what you are going to have at your hands there. And now we can, for instance, do different things here. For instance, we can have a look at the different player figures, can have a look at them from all sides and see which one is which. This, for instance, is of course a king, queen. This is it's called Läufer in German. I'm not sure what that is in English. So the one that can go diagonal and stuff like that. Okay, so after that, if you are ready with this, just click on start. And yeah, now let's have a look what's going on here. Yeah, let the game begin. As you can see, there are different kind of maps too. So this, for instance, is one you can play with. You can turn around and even go closer and further away if you want that. And in the end, you are going to have to play against, of course, the other figures here. And for instance, if you want to use one of the figures here of your parts, they are going to have these small little animations on them and stuff like that. It's really nicely done. And you see, let's turn down the volume a little bit. I can speak easier then. And as you can see, there are those indicators on the ground where your currently selected player or avatar can go to. So put it here, for instance. And of course we have to secure that one. So we are going to put another one in here. You should, if you want to play this, of course already know a little bit about chess. So it's a good idea to have, for instance, a look at the 3D map and the 2D map. As you can see, you can play this more or less with this too, but I'm not going to do that. Because then it's a little bit boring if you ask me. But if you play it in this way, I really like the optics of it. It really has nice little playing figures in here, and it really is fun to play. So let's try to secure all the different guys here. What I'm going to do here is, of course, I'm going to play a little bit of a defensive game. Because it's easier in most situations. The easy version of this is pretty easy to play, so the IE is really going to do a couple of different bad things here. And let's have a look at our playing figures here. As you can see, those little soldiers here are going to fight against those... What is it? I'm not sure. It's some kind of a gargoyle or something. And yeah. Now, as you can see, they are going to try to do something like I am doing here too, but they have a couple of different problems in general, just to let you get to play it a little bit easier and a little bit better. It depends on your level, so if you have, for instance, already done a couple of different things, then this is of course going to help you. And as you can see, he just fighted me, where of course I have a security guard for my player there, so we can just get rid of that guy. If, for instance, you're going to activate the more advanced graphics and stuff like that, then you're going to see a little bit more of the splashy stuff here. But in the end, it's really not that important to have that. What's going to happen if we hit that? He can, for instance, use his queen to hit me there too, but the good thing is my queen is going to cover me there. So I'm going to do that and see if he is trying to fight me there. If he is, you can see that it's really the easy level here, but we will see what's going to happen. In the end, it's not that easy to do, because we are going to more or less trade the blows here, because his horse in this case would be able to defend there. Maybe that one. Let's try to put this over there. That's one of the diagonal people. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get his horse over there. And he's really pretty stupid. Why doesn't he try to cover that? Not sure about it, but we are going to get us a horse. I'm pretty sure he can't cover that. No, he can't. So let's play that. Yeah, and he told us that this was a good thing to do, more or less. Yeah, he's not going to get back on me for that. Yeah, as you can see, it's sometimes a little bit easy to overpower him. Now, for instance, we can take that guy. Yeah, let's do that. And after that, we are just going to jump back again, I think. Okay, I would use this one to kill that. He's just throwing his figures here at me. And nothing of that is really good for him. I'm really not sure what he's going to do there. Yeah, he's firing at me there, but I'm going to take him. Yeah, of course. Go away. Okay, now I have a problem over here. Because he's probably trying to go and use his tower there, yeah. That's going to be the case. That's a little bit unfortunate, because that's for me not too easy to cover up. Well. First time I'm attacking someone with my king in the end, but why not? That should take care of that guy, and that should it be. Very interesting, never did that before. Yeah, of course I'm going to lose a couple of different things here now too. Can't do anything against that, but whatever. Oh, okay. That was a bad one from me. Wasn't good. That was really not a good choice. What I could try now is go here, but then he's going to cover that up with his tower. That's not going to help me. If I go with this guy over here, he's going to try to kill me at this point. And so I'm losing that guy, but in the end, if he is losing his tower, that would be much worse, but I would have to go here first. So in the end we could play it now that I'm going to switch with him around here. That would help, but it's not really a good option. So I really have to get rid of his queen somehow. This one is really the one that is not helpful for me. So let's take my queen, put it here. That would cover up that guy. He can't go in here without a problem. So let's try that. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think it's not going to be bad for me. Okay, so if she goes there, I can just go with my tower over here. The tower is covered up by my queen too, and he is in chess now. So he has to cover up for that. But if I do that, then my tower is of course open again. Going to this position could be helpful later on, I'm not sure. Let's try it. As mentioned before, I'm not really a chess player, but I'm trying, as you can see. Yeah, not the worst idea to do that from him. He's trying to give me a reason to go and kill him there. But I'm going to not do that. I'm just going to get my queen out of the position there. Where is a good idea to go? This could be a good idea, let's see. He's in chess now. Now he had to cover up for that. Or he thought he had to. He wouldn't have to, but he covered that. Then now I can not go in, because otherwise he's going to kill my queen. So I would go up, I would say. For instance, to this position. Let's try it. Maybe I'm going to die, maybe not. We will see what's happening. Oh, okay, perfect. It's a kind of game where he's even getting 2 queens if he's going to go at the other side. If I would have known that they are playing that kind of game, then I would have gone over there, but now it's over. Can't do anything against it. Even if I kill his queen now, I'm going to die. Nothing I can do against 2 queens. Okay, 1 queen less, but still.
That's amazing!
There it is, but I would have to have that one too. Otherwise he's going to kill me. All the time. Yeah, so I would say we are going to cut it here now. In the end, this is a game, you can really play chess with it in a quite good way. As you can see, this would take forever to play on. So I'm not going to do that at the moment. But as you can see, it's a pretty nice game. It has really nice graphics. You can really play around with different pieces. And you can play against other players on the world map if you want to, or you play with a single player mode, as you can see here. And yeah, in the end, if you like chess, just try it out. It's really a great thing. Other than that, let's close that down. And yeah, this was more or less the episode. I hope you had fun with it. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, if you have any kind of questions, please put them down below in the commentary section. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't till now. And yeah, then have a nice week, have a nice weekend, and we will see us in the next episode again next week somehow. And till then, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. See you later and bye. Bye!